Good morning everyone. Today we are going to study about meningitis. So first of all we all have to know what is meningitis, what are the factors that are responsible for causing meningitis and how it is caused. So let's begin. Meningitis is an inflammation of the brain and spinal cord membrane that is also known as meninges. Means meningitis is basically the inflammation of the brain and spinal cord membrane, and these membranes are known by another name that is known as meninges. Next, the meninges are in the three membranes that cover the brain and spinal cord. What are meninges? It are the three membranes that cover the brain and spinal cord, and meningitis can occur when fluid surrounding the meninges become infected. Means the meningitis can occur when fluid surrounding the meninges become infected. Next, etiology. Most common cause of meningitis are viral and bacterial infection. Other causes are cancer, chemical irritation, fungi, and drug allergy. Means most often common cause due to which meningitis occur are viral and bacterial infection, but there are some other causes also that are cancer, chemical irritation, fungi, and drug allergy. But most common is viral and bacterial infection due to which meningitis occur. Next note, some viral and bacterial meningitis that are caused by bacteria and virus are contagious. They can be transmitted by coughing, sneezing, or close contact. Means the meningitis which is occurred by viral and bacterial infection that are contagious, means they can be transmitted by coughing, sneezing, or close contact. Next, clinical features. First, irritability, headache, nausea and vomiting, seizures, stiff neck. Stiff neck means the movement of the neck will be loose, will be not mobilized, means the neck will now not move up and down, not left and right. It will only in one position. Next, photophobia means the phobia which is from light, fear, the fear of light. Next, decreased appetite. Lethargy. Lethargy means decreased enthusiasm, energy, feeling weakness. Next, there are some complications. If after knowing of meningitis we are lefting untreated, then it can lead to so many complications that are brain damage, shock, death, hydrocephalus. Hydrocephalus means there is a abnormal fluid accumulation in the brain, learning disability, serious attacks, etc. Now, types of meningitis. There are various type of meningitis. First is viral meningitis, and this is the most common type of meningitis in all the other type of meningitis, and it is caused by virus, and in the it is in the category of enterovirus, and it mostly cause 85% of the cases, like ecovirus, coccidiovirus A and B. Other viruses that cause meningitis are HIV, mumps, influenza, measles, etc. And it is most common of all the meningitis. Now, second, bacterial meningitis. It is the contagious and caused by infection from certain bacteria. It is fatal if left untreated. Means it is contagious, means it can be transmitted to another person from a unhealthy person to healthy person through coughing, sneezing, etc. And it is caused by certain infection from bacteria, and it is fatal if left untreated. It is dangerous if after knowing it is left untreated. Next example is Streptococcus pneumonia, which is found in the respiratory tract, sinuses and nasal cavity, and can cause meningitis called pneumococcal meningitis. Next, fungal meningitis. It is a rare type of meningitis that is caused by a fungus that infect your body and then spread from bloodstream to your brain or spinal cord. Means it is a rare of all type of meningitis, and it is caused by a fungus that infect your body and then spread from bloodstream to your brain or spinal cord. Now, their diagnosis methods. First is physical exam. What we will do in physical exam? Physical exam like neck stiffness. As we know, meningitis symptoms, there will be neck stiffness. Neck stiffness means there will be the tightness or the loose of There will be the loss of elasticity and flexibility of the neck. Neck cannot move either left or right, up and down, anywhere. It will remain only in one position. So we will, by physical view, we will confirm the physical exam and increase heart rate, monitoring of fever, etc. are important clues for diagnosis. Next, blood culture. In blood culture, what we will do, we will identify the bacteria in the blood as well as the other microbes. Now next is lumbar puncture. This is also known by another name, also called as spinal tape, and it is a medical procedure in which needle is inserted into the spinal canal, most commonly to collect cerebrospinal fluid. And from cerebrospinal fluid we will diagnose testing, and it can also find inflammation or bacteria in the spinal fluid. Next, CT scan. CT scan of head may show problems like a brain abscess or sinusitis. Bacteria can spread from the sinuses to meninges. CT scan by imaging techniques may show problems like a brain abscess, means swelling, etc. and it can be passed from sinuses to meninges. Now their treatment. First is bacterial or severe viral meningitis may require treatment in the hospital. Means the meningitis that is caused by several bacteria or virus can require emergency treatment in the hospital. Medicine that are include for treating such type of disease are medicines such as antibiotics, corticosteroids, and medicines to reduce fever, that is antipyretic. Next, oxygen therapy for patient having trouble in breathing. The patient who are having trouble in breathing, who have shortness of breath, etc. can require oxygen therapy. Next, supportive care in the hospital. Watch the person closely and provide care if needed. Supportive care means we should provide support if the person is unable to move their neck, if the person is unable to stand up and coordinate their position. So we should provide them supportive care. Now their prevention. How we can prevent? We can prevent by a healthy lifestyle. We should exercise daily. We should eat healthy food, etc. and we should get adequate amount of rest. And we should avoid the contact with sick people. As we know, meningitis that is caused by bacterial and viral infection can be contagious, and it can be transferred from a unhealthy person to a healthy person through coughing, sneezing, and close contact. So as we know these all the prevention, so we should avoid contact with sick people. Next is vaccination can also protect against certain type of meningitis such as pneumococcal conjugated vaccine, that is prevention against pneumococcal bacteria, meningococcal vaccine that will prevent meningococcal bacteria. Next, Haemophilus influenzae type B vaccine, and there are many types of varieties of vaccine which can prevent us. Next, their pathophysiology. First is colonization and penetration of nasopharyngeal mucous membrane by bacteria. Means bacteria that will enter or present in nasopharyngeal mucous membrane, and they will make colonization and penetration in that nasopharyngeal mucous membrane. After that, survival of bacteria in blood, which is also known as bacteremia, it will cause endothelial cell injury. When endothelial cell injury occurs, it will increase blood-brain barrier permeability. After increasing blood-brain permeability, there will be the attack of meningitis that is present in the brain, or invasion of the meninges in the CNS. Next, after invasion of meninges in the CNS, there is a space, subarachnoid space in the brain. In there, inflammation will occur, which will also increase triple B permeability. Triple B means blood-brain permeability. After that, there will be increased cerebrospinal fluid outflow resistance. After increased cerebrospinal fluid outflow resistance, there will be hydrocephalus occurrence. What is hydrocephalus? Hydrocephalus means there will be the abnormal fluid collection in the brain. After that, there will interstitial edema. After occurring interstitial edema swelling, there will be increased intracranial pressure in the brain. When there will be increased intracranial pressure in the brain, there will be decreased cerebral blood flow. When there is a decreased cerebral blood flow, then bacterial meningitis occur as all the neuronal injury occur, and it will damage the all three layers, that is known as meninges. I hope you all have understand my video. Thank you.